sort of 2007 was on the brink of bankruptcy. And their business leader, Idris Jala, who's their CEO, decided that one of the most fundamental principles, he had a 5-point plan, and his fundamental principle, number 4, was how does he unleash the capabilities of the people in his organization in order to make decisions faster. And this is a little bit of a BlackBerry story here, but what Malaysian Airlines actually did was they pushed out to their business leaders and their managers real-time reports and business dashboards on their BlackBerries so they could actually make decisions in real time. But again, the concept here was that people were empowered to do so. And then last example, and I bet you probably didn't think you'd see a Microsoft example in a BlackBerry presentation, and I did tell the Sage guys as well, sorry, by the way that we use this as a reference. But this is Ray Ozzie. And Ray Ozzie is the chief software architect at Microsoft. Tremendous blog, shares tremendous views on technology and how it's being used. And his fundamental principle, as they go in and go into a new competitive age that even Microsoft is figuring out how to deal with, his principle is how does he get Microsoft to start using the internet so that they're an internet company and empowering their people so that they behave like a web startup. And at Microsoft, they think that. So I wanted to share all those things because, not because this is any kind of stretch of imagination, but every business leader, irrespective of the size of their organization, whether they're based in the north of England, south of England, in North America, or Europe, or across the world, but every business leader is thinking about the same thing. That people are their most important assets, that people are the things that truly differentiate them in front of their customers, and that it's the information and the capabilities of those people that really differentiate people over time. And we at BlackBerry, well, we're in the kind of infrastructure game, right? And I said that it's not process or technology or phones that differentiate business, but it's what people do. And we have this belief that if we create tools that people begin to use, they have the ability to think and take action in real time. And that's the single biggest thing about mobile applications and smartphones that anybody can tell you. The whole concept here, whether you're in a use case in the street looking for something to do, or whether you're in business looking to do something for your customer, it's about how you get the information that you need to make decisions in real time. And for businesses, what that means is your people who are on the front line servicing customers have the information they need to make decisions that impact your bottom line. And they're doing it right when they're servicing customers. So what I've got coming up is just a few examples of the areas we see businesses in the UK, many of whom that look like yourselves, starting to use technology to do these amazing things for their customers by empowering their people. And I thought I'd start with a piece of work that we did last year with Forrester Consulting. And we surveyed 2,000 organizations across Europe. And we wanted to ask them about where their challenges are when they touch customers. And the statistic here is almost frightening, in that more than 50% of those that were asked said that they experienced cases where sales were lost because the person who was dealing with the customer didn't have the information they needed in the palm of their hand to make a decision that would help that customer and help that customer buy from them. So it's an incredible statistic. If you think about those 2,000 companies and the number of customer touch points, what could happen if we gave those people the ability to have access to that information? I'm going to run a video in just one sec, but to introduce our first reference here, this is Hadley Gardening. They're a 2-person gardening maintenance and repair company. And the thing about gardening, of course, is it's a 100% mobile business. This business success is 100% linked to how much time the people that work in that organization can spend servicing customers and performing the duties that they require. And there's a great use case here about how they've started to use technology in order to help them get paid faster. So guys at the back, if you can queue up the video, and I'll cross my fingers and hope that it runs, we'll take it from there.
I set the business up about 2 years ago. I set it up because I didn't want to be tied down by a 9-to-5 job. I wanted to work my own hours, get rewarded for the hard work that I put in. We've finally built up a nice client base and things are going good, touch wood. I've been using a BlackBerry for about 6 months now. The key points about it that have really benefited my business are I take a picture, I can attach the pre-saved invoices, send them straight to the management company. I get in front of the other 10,000 contractors that send their invoices in every month. Really helps me getting paid on time, which is crucial in a small business. I mean, when you're starting off, you need your payments on time, you need to pay all your staff, and it's a great tool. Before I had this, it was really a problem for me. I was getting delayed a couple of months just because I wasn't getting the invoices in on time. Now, after every job, send it straight away with a picture. They can't query it, they can't delay it through the systems. It just gets paid straight away. It's great for lifetime messaging. Jack can check all his football results on lunch. All work's been done at work. No unnecessary messing about at home. It doesn't sound like a big deal, but once you use one, I can't really imagine going without it. It just saves at least an hour and a half every day, which is a great bonus for me. It frees up a lot of my time and I can spend my time doing what I want.
Great, thank you. So it's a quick example of a very, very small business leveraging smartphone technology to prove that they've done work for customers, actually attach them to invoices, send them to the management companies, and they're actually getting paid faster, getting ahead of the queue in order to not just keep customers satisfied, but they're actually getting paid and managing their cash balance better. Our next example is Taylor Clocks, and this is a Sage customer. They work with Sage Logic. They're a chartered accountancy or a firm of chartered accountants. And the professional services industry is an incredible industry because last year, if you look at all the professional services firms, so legal firms, consulting firms, business service consultancy, their worldwide revenue dropped last year by 25%. So that's an incredible business to have to manage. And the key thing for any professional services firms and accountants firm is the quality time you spend with customers. And what Taylor Clocks are able to do is work with the Sage Logics product, which is effectively their CRM product. It runs all of their customer knowledge and customer service and customer information. They've enabled that on BlackBerry, and now all of their accountants have access to real-time information about customers when they're out with customers. And that's important as you bill by the hour, and you bill by the day, and you bill by the project. They've reported savings of up to 5 hours per person per week. Very simply, by just connecting what they're already doing with Sage software onto their BlackBerries that they were already carrying in their hands. MMCS, again, it's a sort of a 10 or 20 person company. These guys repair and provide cabling for the Ministry of Defense. And when you work in the public sector and provide services to the public sector, you kind of have to prove that you've done the work that you were contracted for, and then you can kind of get paid. It's kind of how it works. And they have to have demonstrable service quality in order to manage their relationships with that customer. What they're able to do is there is a little application that they're using on BlackBerry, which is called HandyPix. And very simply, what they do while they performed a piece of work or maintenance or service, they take a picture of it, it records it, it's archived to their system, it records the date, the geo position, and the time that the work was done, and they're then able to send that back to their customer, and he can see exactly what's been done against the contract of record when it was actually done. So again, the principle here is how the people that perform these cabling and perform this service are actually able to improve their service to customers just by empowering them to have access to tools that enable them to show what's been completed. So all across the UK and North America and Europe and beyond, there are a ton of companies now investing in smartphone technology, not just ours, to build and grow what their people do. And have